is Marie. Today I am going to softly whisper you a fairy tale, and it is from this book, Hans Christian Andersen Fairytales, with original art by Kasper Kübke. Yes, so let's take a look inside the book and see which fairy tale. Numskull Jack. That is a long time since I've heard that one. Numskull Jack, page 120. So let's find that at the end. Way back. Here it is. Numskull Jack. And I'll just show you the drawing here on the front page. Yes, it's Numskull Jack. Once upon a time, there was an old farmer who had 2 bright sons. They were going to propose to the king's daughter, as she had announced that she would marry the wittiest and best spoken man in the whole kingdom. The 2 brothers were very clever and knowledgeable. One had read all the books in the entire wide world, and the other brother was very skilled. There was nothing he could not make or mend. Their father gave them each a magnificent horse, and both oiled their mouths to smooth their tongues. As they mounted their steeds, their younger brother suddenly appeared. No one thought much of him. He knew next to nothing, and that is why everybody called him Numskull Jack. "Where are you going?" he asked. His brothers told him about the king's daughter, and Jack asked if he could go with them. But they just laughed at him and rode off. "Father, I want a horse too, and marry the king's daughter, whether she wants to or not." But the father did not allow him a horse. "You've never been particularly articulate," he reasoned. But Numskull Jack was not going to let himself be put off that easily. He settled for the old billy goat and pursued his brothers in a gallop. "Hello, here I come," called Jack. "Look what I've found. A dead crow. A fine present for a king's daughter." "You must be crazy," his brothers replied, and rode on. "Hello, here I come." Jack caught his brothers up again. This time he had found an old wooden clock to give to the princess. "You really are completely mad," the brothers retorted, and rode away quickly. Here we have Numskull Jack on his billy goat, with all the fine things he has found for the princess. "Hello, here I come." Once again, Jack caught up with his brothers. His pockets were bulging, with mud. "This will please my princess," he cried. "How disgusting," his brothers exclaimed, riding off as fast as they could. They reached town before Jack. In the center of the town stood row upon row of young men who wanted to marry the princess. The castle was surrounded by all the country's inhabitants, standing so close to each other that they could barely move their arms. Packed they were, as so many sardines. One after the other, the young hopefuls entered, and all were struck dumb when they saw the king's beautiful daughter. "No good," she said. "Next." At every window in the hall, there were newspaper reporters writing down all the ridiculous answers for all to read. Then it was time for the first brother to show his abilities. The bookish one. He was sweaty and dreadfully nervous. "Golly, it sure is warm in here," he started. "Yes, we're roasting chickens," said the king's daughter. "Oh, he answered. And could not find any witty answer. "No good. Away with him," dismissed the king's daughter. In went the second brother, mumbling about the heat. "Yes, we're roasting chickens," said the king's daughter. "Oh, what?" he said. And the reporters wrote, "Oh, what?" The king's daughter waved an impatient hand, saying, "No good. Away with him." In rode Jack on his billy goat. "Core, it's like an oven in here," he said. "That's because they've been roasting chickens today." "Well, then I can have my crow cooked as well. I've brought my own pot," said a cheerful Jack, and put the crow into the wooden clock. "You've got enough for a whole meal there." "But where will we find the sauce?" asked the king's daughter. "In my pocket," replied Jack, and pulled up a handful of mud. "I like you. You are funny, and you speak well. You are the husband for me." "But do you know that everything we say will be in the newspapers in the morning?" Jack was not aware of that, but he was quick to reply. "Well, then I'd better give them something funny to take down." And then he threw a blob of mud at the reporters. "Well done," said the king's daughter, laughing. And so Numskull Jack became king and won himself a throne and a wife. At least it said so in the newspapers. But then again, you never really know with newspapers. And I'll just show you the painting here of Numskull Jack and the princess. Jack throwing the mud. So that is all for today. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you found this relaxing. Make sure to comment down below which fairy tale you would like to hear next. I wish you a wonderful and peaceful sleep, and I'll see you again in my next video very, very soon. Goodbye.